Good morning, everyone. Pastor Brad from New Covenant United Church of Christ in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and this is this week's edition of Children's Story Time. This week's edition of Children's Story Time is going to be for the 12th Sunday after Pentecost, Sunday, August 16th, 2026, and we're going to be taking a look at our gospel lesson from Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 to 28. And so I got a hat here, and inside the hat are little slips of paper, and on each slip of paper there's going to be something that you're going to be asked to do. And so we have in the slips of paper, let's see, this one says bark like a big dog. All right, so if that's what you picked, you have to bark like a big dog. Woo, 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 woo. Bark like a big dog if that's what you picked. Fetch. Well, and of course I have a ball, so we're going to throw that ball, and if you got fetch, you got to go fetch the ball. Here's another one. Bark like a little dog. So that's the game. We have all of these different things. And I guess if you haven't figured out already, there are things that dogs do. I think I also have sit and roll over in there. So whatever you pick, that's what you have to do. If you have to fetch the ball, you have to fetch the ball. And so we picked activities and we acted like dogs this morning for our children's lesson. Dogs, just like all of the creatures that God created, deserve to be loved and cared for. They're creatures created by God, and so they too deserve to be loved and cared for. What are some ways that you care for your dog, or if you have a cat or a fish or another pet in the house? What are some things that you need to do? Yeah, they need to be taken outside, or the litter box needs to be cleaned, or their fish tank needs to be cleaned. You need to give them water and food. There are lots of ways that we care for God's creatures, that we care for animals. In our lesson this morning, Jesus is reminded by a woman that he meets that her daughter deserves to be cared for too. This is our task as Jesus' disciples, to try to do our best to show love and care for all of God's children and all of God's creatures as best as we can. May it be so. Thanks be to God. Amen. Thank you for joining me this week's edition of Children's Story Time. Hope you enjoyed the time. Hope you enjoyed the activity, and we'll hopefully see you next week. Peace, blessings, love, and prayers, everybody. Bye-bye.